This episode of Pop Goes the Culture is brought to you by Tim Steppich. Thanks for being a Pop Goes the Culture Patreon contributor. To get your name at the top of a Pop Goes the Culture episode, become a Patreon subscriber for just $4.99 a month. It's easy. By doing so, you'll help us keep Pop Goes the Culture coming to you every day, and as a thank you, we'll put your name at the top of a Pop Goes the Culture episode in the future. Thanks to all my Patreon contributors. Hi, I'm David Levin, and welcome to Pop Goes the Culture, the behind-the-scenes showbiz stories you wouldn't have known from the stars themselves. Today, Marina Sirtis and I talked about how things changed for Star Trek The Next Generation when the show transitioned from TV syndication to the big screen. Bigger budgets, bigger stories, better special effects, and Deeana gets to drive the Enterprise and crash it. Plus, how do people react when they meet Marina in person? Marina geeks out at meeting other famous people. How do they react when they see her? How did Sean Lennon, Yoko Ono, and Bijou Phillips react? Here are the perks and pains of being a star. Difference between syndication and movies?
We get gifts from the studio when we do movies.
Really?
A nice basket on the first day, yeah. Not really, you know.
A little more time to work on things?
Yeah, you have more time. I mean, basically that's it. You're not doing 42 minutes in 7 days. You know, you're doing an hour and a half or 2 hours in 3 months. So yeah, you get a lot more time. Well, the lighting people get a lot more time. That's who gets the time. The actors really don't get that much more time, but yeah, you look better.
Same sets, or did they rebuild them for the movies?
Well, the bridge always was the same, but after I crashed the ship in...
Good work.
After I destroyed the ship in Generations, we had to have a new Enterprise, and so they did a new one.
Sort of found out that in that movie why you were a counselor generally.
And not a driver?
Not the driver.
You know what? That planet just came out of nowhere, okay?
Did you get citations? I mean, they pull you over
No, but
side.
Patrick was going around the country. That woman will never drive my ship again.
Plus, I bet the insurance went way up after that.
Oh, you know, the 24th century equivalent of Allstate, you know, they really stuck it to us, yeah.
And yet they rebuilt it.
Yeah.
They never learned their lessons.
And then I crashed it again, but that was under orders, so in Nemesis I had to crash it again. You know, have you noticed it's always a woman driving whenever the Enterprise has to be demolished?
Maybe Spot next time.
Yeah, somebody else has got to drive that ship next time it goes into the shop.
How do people react to you when they meet you?
Oh, there's a whole range of, you know, well, you know, I kind of know who you are, but, you know, I don't watch the show. I've never watched the show, to people bursting into tears.
Who burst into tears?
Well, we were in London for the premiere of Nemesis, and we were checking out of the hotel. It was me, Brent, and Jonathan possibly, and we walked down into the lobby to check out, and Sean Lennon is standing there with Yoko Ono and his girlfriend at the time, who was Bijou Phillips. And they didn't see me. They saw Brent and I think Jonathan, just flipped. They had come in the night before, and because they had jet lag, they had sat up all night watching Next Generation reruns that they had brought with them from America. And they couldn't believe that there we were standing in the lobby of the hotel. And I could hear, I was kind of half listening to the conversation, and at one point Bijou said to Brent, oh, you're just such a great actor. And I kind of went, oh, don't tell him that, he's got a big enough head already. And she turned around and looked at me and screamed and burst into tears. And I was like, oh, don't cry, please don't cry. I was patting her on the back, oh, please don't cry, oh, it's okay, you know. And she was just, and then we were introduced to Yoko. Amazing. I was like, you know, oh, wow, it's Yoko, oh no. So that's the kind of, you know, so we get, you know, that I've never seen you, don't know who you are, you know, to Bijou bursting into tears.
Who else have you met over the years? What other experiences have you had that you wouldn't have had if you hadn't done this show?
Well, obviously, getting tickets for things like first day of Wimbledon, which I used to play hooky from school and go to Wimbledon every year, and stand in line for hours, and then I get tickets, on the first day of Wimbledon. I can see my idol Pete Sampras play, and I have soccer legend Bobby Charlton sitting behind me and David Frost sitting over here, and the Duchess of Kent walks in and I burst into tears, and it's mainly stuff like that, and meeting people who you don't imagine are going to be fans, like Gene Simmons from Kiss, who's a huge fan and just goes crazy every time I see him. I think it's just when people that you admire, I think that's the biggest thrill for me, is people that I admire who express their admiration for me. Because I'm still so starstruck. I used to sit in the Paramount commissary at lunchtime and just go, oh my God, it's Tom Cruise, I can't believe it's Tom Cruise, and just be like a giggling schoolgirl. And I remember, because I love Shirley MacLaine more than anything, and when I met Shirley MacLaine, I couldn't speak. I literally couldn't speak. And I remember being at the Oscars, which was another event I wouldn't have gotten to go to, and standing this far away from Meryl Streep, breathing her air. I actually said that I can't believe I'm breathing the same air as Meryl Streep. So that's the kind of thing, really. People treat you better, which is really silly, And the other thing that I don't understand is people ask your opinion about things, and why is my opinion worth more than someone else's just because I'm on television, I think there's a responsibility that comes along with that, for you to not say silly things and be aware of what comes out of your mouth.
And do you have to be aware when you're sort of out and about? Are you conscious of people sort of looking at you or something?
People don't recognize me, really. I try not to speak, because that's what they recognize is my voice. So I tend to not wear, I know it sounds terrible, not wear makeup and kind of not dress up, so that, because when I go to London, I ride on the tube, I ride on the subway. It's the quickest way to get around London. And sometimes you get a kind of a double take, but then they think, well, it can't be her. She wouldn't be sitting on the tube. She'd be in a limo somewhere, But of course you are, because it's only, £3 for a ticket as opposed to, £20 in a taxi. So yeah, I'm on the tube with everybody else.
You get away with it.
I do. And then when I go to English, because I talk like that in English, so even my voice doesn't get recognized.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
That's it for this episode. We've got one more chapter. Next time, Marina Sirtis and I talk memorabilia. We talked about what she may or may not have taken from Star Trek: The Next Generation. The Las Vegas Star Trek experience. If you ever got to do that before it closed, you should have. What were Marina's convention experiences like? Visitors to the Star Trek set like George Michael. Plus, Prince Charles escorts Marina to the Star Trek premiere. For real. See you then. Meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe and contribute to Patreon. Thanks very much. Don't miss Ask Them Yourself, a live version of Pop Goes the Culture where you can be part of the conversation via Skype or FaceTime.